Karma Brands radio station.
Cam Ward is free. Cam Ward is absolutely free, and I'm excited.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. Especially those living within the confines of Tennessee, the volunteer state. Maybe Nashville, Nash Vegas, if you will, because this past weekend in Vegas, just yesterday, they were celebrating a win over the Tennessee Titans in a decrepit game. I think it ended, 20-10? But the Raiders fans that celebrated on Sunday are nowhere near as exuberant, as joyous, as elated, as relieved. I mean, I can go on for days. Break out the thesaurus. The thesaurus. Excuse me. So excited I'm forgetting how to say my words. Cam Ward is free. The Tennessee Titans made an announcement. And before I even talk about CCAT being on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos, I got to share with you this breaking news that just dropped right before we got the show underway.
Breaking news on ESPN 1063 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire. If your vehicle has issues with braking or other issues, get it fixed right now at St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
From the office of the Tennessee Titans, a statement from the president of football operations, Chad Brinker. After extended conversations with our owner and general manager, we met with Brian Callahan this morning to tell him we are making a change at head coach. These decisions are never easy, and they become more difficult when they involve people of great character. We are grateful for Brian's investment in the Titans and Tennessee community during his tenure as head coach. We thank him and his family for being exemplary ambassadors of the Tennessee Titans. But ambassador no longer. Callahan, who comes from a football family, who I thought actually could be the guy because of how great he was as a coordinator for the Bengals and Joe Burrow's upbringing, is now fired. And it's the level of incompetence he showed as the head coach in game management, in play calling. He literally, I believe it was week 1, didn't know the catch rule. And not the ambiguous catch rule, but like the fact that an elbow counts as 2 feet.
Sure does.
And for me to know that, and for him, this is how bad that was. And again, that breaking news brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire. Brian Callahan officially fired 6 weeks into year 2 of his tenure with the Titans. This is how bad it was that Callahan didn't understand that rule. For people that don't know, Alec Ayumander, the rookie wide receiver out of the 4th round for the Titans, made a catch, and he landed an elbow in bounds, but nothing else. It was ruled incomplete. Everybody is beckoning for Callahan to challenge it. This is also on a pivotal drive where if that catch was made, they likely get points out of it. Since the catch was not made, they end up having to punt. This was on a pivotal drive that needed the pickup by Ayumander. After the game, Callahan actually addressed the media, and he said definitively at the podium that that is not a catch because he got an elbow in bounds. And this is how bad it is, C-Cat. I knew the elbow rule. Did you know the elbow rule before that?
Yes, of course.
I think it's come up many a times before. So he was so definitive at the podium behind that mic post-game that I thought the rule changed. Because the catch rule is so ambiguous that I was like, oh, it was surely Brian Callahan, who comes from a football family. Who, for those that don't know, Brian Callahan, son of Bill Callahan. Yeah, rings a bell. Bill Callahan actually also the offensive line coach for the Titans right now. I wonder what happens with his job. I wonder who the interim is. We're still finding a lot of this out. This breaking news just happened 5 minutes before we started the show. But C-Cat, he said it so definitively as a football guy, as a head coach, that I believed him. And moments like those remind me every day, whereas we're all just human beings. We make our mistakes.
On ZipRecruiter, under job description of head coach of an NFL football team, I think bullet point number 1 as a prerequisite is knowing the rules of NFL football. Oh my God. That's got to be bare minimum. That's got to be your CDL as a truck driver. You got to have this. You got to pass the test.
The elbow in bounds rule is so fundamental to know. I would excuse something more crazy. And also, this is second year as a head coach, and he's an offensive guy.
This is not last night's Jared Goff touchdown being called back.
That was now last night's Goff one. I didn't know. I was waiting to hear from the rules analyst.
Yeah,
because I honestly, when it happened, I was like, "Yo, he can do that."
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, yeah, he can do that. I didn't know. I don't have the rule book in front of me. So as they were, talking about it, and the refs threw the flags a little late, and I know that there's Chiefs haters who are like, look at the NFL for ruling in favor of the Chiefs. It is kind of unfair if you're lining up under center and then within seconds you just run out wide and you're an eligible wide receiver. It's kind of crazy. So that rule is ambiguous. If you don't know that as a head coach, which Dan Campbell admitted he didn't, Jared Goff admitted he didn't. Not a crazy scenario. It's a trick play.
Mm-hmm.
An elbow down in bounds, not a trick play.
Equals 2 feet.
It equals 2 feet. We know that for multiple reasons because, again, if you're a running back and you're toting the ball and an elbow hits down, guess what? You're down. If an elbow hits down, if you're toting the rock and you lose it and the fumble doesn't count because you're down, then wouldn't the same thing matter for the catch?
Mm-hmm.
So Brian Callahan not knowing that rule, Brian Callahan messing up a lot of different game management situations. There was the delay of game that pushed them back from a 57-yard field goal to a 62-yarder. These are game-changing mistakes from the offensive side of the ball and from the office of Brian Callahan. The Raiders win this weekend 20-10, and I'm not going to sit here and be a Cam Ward defender and say that this guy was perfect. I think he had a bad game. I think he had a horrendous game. But you know what side of the ball was actually good for the Titans? The defense. The defense, who was put in bad situation after bad situation and held up the Las Vegas Raiders in a way in which you can't continue to have to rely on them to do. The defense was good. The offense was bad. Cam Ward has seemed to regress and not even get better week by week by week. And now 6 weeks into the season, the Titans have dropped the hammer and have fired Brian Callahan. Congratulations to them. And you know the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that news, C-Cat?
What?
Who's next?
That's next? Right. The first domino has fallen.
Yes.
The Titans have decided we want to be open for business first. Whatever advantage we get from not having that guy as head coach for the remainder of this season, we want that.
Because there's a man whose job is under fire right now. There is a young lad who lives in the Miami Gardens area who is a great play caller, a nice schemer of offense. He also is not so bad at managing people as long as people know how to keep themselves in check. Mike McDaniel, head coach of the Miami Dolphins, likely the next guy to lose his job in the NFL right now. If you look at those weird betting markets where you can bet on people losing their job, those pocket watching markets, Mike McDaniel likely is the next guy up. And when I look at what the Miami Dolphins have been, and I look at how unaccountable Tua has been, and we're going to have the Tua conversation right here, right now on these radio airwaves, C-Cat, I would love to see Cam Ward be in a creative offense. I would love to see a guy like Mike McDaniel have his hands on an offense that is authored by Cam Ward. We always say we don't know exactly what Tua Tagovailoa is, but we do know what he isn't, and that's a guy like Cam Ward who can sling the ball, who can manage a pocket a little bit better, who is sturdy, who is durable, who also gives confidence and preaches accountability on his players and on himself. He is a leader of men, Cam Ward. And we know that 6 games into a career where he's 1-5 and he's looked absolutely horrendous on the football field. And it's not like Mike McDaniel would have lived close enough to get a good eye on Cam Ward during his last season in football, would he have?
I think that his starting quarterback might share a locker with Cam Ward for part of his career.
Familiarity, you say. I'm not hoping for Mike McDaniel to lose his job in Miami, but I do think it's come to the point where it's run its course, and we're going to pivot and get into the Dolphins conversation. I got thrown off track here because of what Cam Ward means to this area, because of what Cam Ward is going to mean to the future of the NFL, and because of the fact that an NFL head coach just lost his job today. Brian Callahan on the outs. He went 3-14 in his first season. He was 1-5 so far this year. The Titans said enough. And C-Cat, do we have an interim coach yet? Do we have an announcement for an interim coach?
Haven't seen one quite yet. Doesn't mean it hasn't been announced. It's just that I have poor eyesight.
It's all good. It's all good. But what I do know is Mike McDaniel could be one of the hot candidates on the market this offseason, and everybody's been talking about how he's going to be a guy that's going to slip right into a coordinator role. I would not be shocked if Mike McDaniel actually has a couple of options as a head coach elsewhere, because you can look at his scenario in Miami and say, sure, you could be better. You could have been better. But you know what else? That organization could be better. The situation that they put you in when it comes to that roster, when it comes to that quarterback, could have been better. I'd like to see you in a better situation. Matter of fact, I'd like to throw some lipstick on that pig and bring him down to Nashville. That's what I would say if I'm the Titans. And again, they're going to have their pick of the litter because they have Cam Ward. The Titans are going to have many options when it comes to the candidates that are available. I can't even think of the hot names on the coaching carousel, if you will, in the NFL right now, outside of likely Mike McDaniel because he's going to lose his job. But like, who's the hot coordinator right now? They all got eaten up this past offseason.
Now, is it now definitively proven to be the wrong decision to move on from Vrabel a couple of years ago?
No. And by the way, who's the Titans' next opponent next weekend at home?
Is it the Patriots?
New England Patriots.
Aha.
So that's going to be interesting. And you kind of like
was that calculated?
Spot?
You think that was taken into consideration? They did not want to get embarrassed by the guy that was replaced by the guy they have now?
What's more embarrassing, though? Going into a week where you know that he's going to have a microphone in front of him for the full week and Vrabel speaks his mind and him being able to talk about his return to Nashville and him being able to literally speak definitively that the guy that they tried to replace me with stunk, that it was a bad hire, that they've been bad and that's why they're making a change, or to give Brian Callahan one last shot?
No, see, I think you kind of take the bullets out of the gun, if you would. Like you wave the white flag. This is
They're
not creating a fight. Yeah. This is, oh yeah, you were right. This is not allowing you to put the nail in the coffin because we put it in our coffin ourselves.
Yeah. That is so, they're tucking their tail. That's so bad. But you know what, though? What always happens the week after an NFL team who is, I don't want to say the Titans quit on him, but he clearly has lost his voice in that locker room. After that loss to the Raiders, Callahan was like, yo, this one's on everybody, including Cam Ward. And that's probably when the organization was like, all right, that's the final straw. You're out of here. Don't you dare talk about that guy. He's the savior of this franchise. He was like, this one was on everybody. Everybody's been bad, including number one. And they were like, all right, your ass is done. So I don't know we always see this. You fire your head coach, the interim comes in, everybody's riled up, everybody's ready to play, everybody's excited. And this is going to be at home as well. I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans roll in this thing and win.
Yeah, me neither. That would be so NFL.
Yeah.
These guys are all professional football players. Who cares about the momentum that both sides have on? It takes a little something like that to flip a game.
I don't even know who the interim coach is for the Titans, but I'm going to make this bold prediction right now as we still wait to learn. I've looked up a couple reports. There's a lot of hints at who it might be, but we'll wait until something is definitive. I'm going to make this bold prediction. I believe the Titans do so much better on the back end with this interim coach that the Titans are going to find themselves in a similar position that the Raiders found themselves when Antonio Pierce took over, where you are going to have to face the tough decision of looking at this guy in the eye and saying, hey, despite how well you did in opposition to what we had before, and despite how much better the team has been, we still need to do a full coaching search, and we know what the track record is on hiring interim head coaches. It's always been bad. Even Antonio Pierce, I was in favor of them hiring Pierce, and the very next year he gets fired because he stunk.
Because you also always have that locker room. If you start winning, that interim head coach becomes their guy, and you don't want to look like the bad guy or the villain as the GM by getting rid of the interim head coach that won over the locker room that was lost by the guy who got fired. It always puts you in a trepidatious situation.
It's a honeymoon phase that teams go through, and I would love to have players talk about. We've heard players talk about it on other platforms. We have a couple of NFL guys that are going to be joining us in the coming weeks to talk some football here, and I'm going to poke their brains about what that's like because it's a weird, it's like a sociology experiment where it's like same guy, same players, same rosters, same scheme for the most part. Different head coach. All right, we're ready to play. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm ready to execute. Okay, I'm ready to charge off the football now on this third down in the third quarter late in the game when I'm tired, but I'm going to give it my all because I want to see this guy succeed.
I think it has to do with the week leading up. I think when you have an interim head coach, just by definition, they're thrown right into the frying pan, and you cannot assume that guy has what it takes, so you give a little bit more on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah.
Like
we all have to do our job.
Exactly. And that conglomeration of an effort makes you much stronger as a football team. You're right. It's like the Patrick Ewing theory?
Yes.
When you lose your best player, for some reason, those teams actually play better sometimes.
All right, this is what we're going to do here. One last
I got you're looking for interim head coach? I haven't seen anything.
Okay, yeah. Well, then let's move on. CCAT, there's another team in the NFL who's likely to join this list of being in the officially searching for a head coach. And if you're watching us on YouTube at ESPN West Palm, you will see in the stream highlights of Dolphins v. Chargers. Dolphins v. Chargers. Where does that sound familiar? Oh, we just saw that game this weekend. Well, I saw the Dolphins took a late lead, CCAT. I saw that Darren Waller, who's been the savior for this franchise through 3 weeks, he got a big touchdown in the right corner of the end zone. The Dolphins went up.
6 yards of separation.
He was wide. Like, the weird thing about his touchdowns, he either had the one in the back of the end zone where he leaped over 3 guys, dunked over the field goal post and scored, or he's just been wide ass open. No in between. So Darren Waller gets you one of those. There's 50 seconds left. You kick the ball off to the Chargers, and 2 seconds later, the Chargers won the football game. Not sure how that happened. Not quite sure how that happened, especially as somebody that was watching on Red Zone. I was like, oh, like, did I miss something? No. They showed me the one play. It was a Ladd McConkey, pass to the flats that he took 50 yards, and then the game was over. And now we're back in a scenario where the Dolphins looked slightly competitive. They looked fun. We had some bright spots, but in the end, they did not execute down the stretch, and they lost the football game. Well, at least everybody in that locker room is taking accountability, right?
I assume so.
Let's hear from their leader, the leader of this team, at least internally. Let's hear from Tua Tagovailoa after the game when questioned about the state of affairs around Miami Gardens.
Yeah, well, I think it starts with the leadership in helping articulate that for the guys, and then what we're expecting out of the guys, right? We're expecting this. Are we getting that? Are we not getting that? We have guys showing up to player-only meetings late, guys not showing up to player-only meetings. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. Do we have to make this mandatory? Do we not have to make this mandatory? So it's a lot of things of that nature that we got to get cleaned up.
Okay. So in that kind of like word soup there, he talked specifically about guys showing up to meetings late, leaders not leading correctly, or at least not being able to engage their followers or their constituents or whatever you want to put it as. They're soldiers. I know a lot of football guys like to talk like it's war. They're army. Leaders not being able to lead, players not showing up to meetings, guys not giving it their all. CCAT, anywhere in there did he talk about the interceptions he was throwing last night?
Did not hear that word.
Okay. Well, maybe that has something to do with people showing up to meetings late. Maybe the receivers were late on their routes because they showed up to. Well, let's one more time. Tua, what's going wrong with the Dolphins right now?
Yeah, well, I think it starts with the leadership in helping articulate that for the guys.
Okay, good. Okay, how many leaders are there on a football team? You obviously want to say the head coach is the leader, right? Mike McDaniel is going to be the first guy in charge of, correcting things when they're going wrong and coming up with, with good game plans and leading guys into execution. That's Mike McDaniel's job. Who will be second?
I would say Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh, well, why Tua though?
Captain of the team.
Okay, all right. Well, does he play an important position at least? Is it because I'm
most important position in sports?
Okay. So I'm gonna peel the curtain back a little bit here on what's going on with Tua, because everybody has their theories and everybody's talking down on the Dolphins, and Tua Tagovailoa is using these media sessions as therapy. He is using that microphone and the press as a way in which to air out grievances, as a way in which to get things off his chest that he's not able to properly communicate to people that are intimate in his life, because either he doesn't have the guts to say it or he said it time and time again and it's not going through. He's using the media as therapy. He is coping out loud. That's what Tua Tagovailoa is doing, who, by the way, has been one of the bigger issues for the Dolphins this year. Everybody's been an issue, but Tua himself and the turnovers clearly have been an issue. And coping's not as bad as people try to make it seem. I'm not saying this is a negative for Tua, right? Coping, if you look up the definition here, it is to, okay, here it is. Coping is to deal effectively with something difficult. He's dealing effectively with something that is difficult. What's difficult, you ask? Well, CCAT, if you have high expectations, if you have a franchise quarterback contract, if you are in a place in which people expect you to win, but you can't seem to get over that hump, you can't seem to make the plays in the right time, you can't seem to galvanize your bunch, would that be difficult?
It would be pretty darn hard.
It's hard to deal with the emotions that come with that as you are an athlete that is at the top of his game in the prime of his career with a lot of eyes on you. Tua is coping. And I don't blame him for coping because everybody wants to be great at what they do. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, hey, I would love to throw 3 interceptions and lose the game for my football team today. I would love for that to be. He wants to win. He wants to be good. He wants to be a ceiling raiser. But I just think that the issue with Tua right now is he's one of those quarterbacks. There's a class of quarterbacks in the NFL right now who are good. And they're almost becoming victims of how good they are. It's almost like when a team that is young has success too early and then the expectations rise and they never get back to that hump. Tua is good. He's good enough to get paid $50 million a year. He's good enough to convince the Miami Dolphins to invest in him long term, to make him their franchise quarterback, but he's not great. He's not great enough to take them to the next level. He's not great enough to win in December. He's not great enough to beat playoff teams. He's not great enough to play in the cold and have an efficient football game. He's good and he's not great. And that gap between good and great is one of the hardest gaps to climb. And it can be so infuriating because when you're good, the next step people expect as you get older, you're going to become great. That's what they – when the Dolphins gave him that contract, CCAT, did you think that they were like, hey, you led the league in passing? You know, you led a team to 70 points over the Broncos. Keep being good. We don't expect nothing else from you. Keep it up.
They poured the foundation. They watered the flower. You know, they were expecting progression and growth.
And they didn't get that. And that's fine. I'm not saying that's even an issue. I'm saying that nobody even expects at this point for Tua to become great. And I think that's the issue. That's why we've seen this level of coping from Tua this entire season. When he got in front of the microphone before playing the Bills and talked about how he's half the man that Josh Allen will ever be, and called Josh Allen a mythical character who is a beast and could be never stopped by his own defense, that was coping. That was him coping out loud, using the media as therapy to get over things that he can't figure out himself. When he also threw multiple interceptions in that game against the Colts, week 1, and a reporter asked him, hey, Tua, why do your turnovers seem to come in bunches? I believe that reporter was Omar Kelly. Why do your turnovers come in bunches? And Tua immediately got defensive. Immediately. Jumped on his horse, got defensive, and said, that doesn't happen. And then there's stats to actually prove that actually, yes, when you turn the ball over, things start to unravel very quickly. He was being defensive. That is one of the first things you do when you're coping and when you're in therapy. I feel bad outside looking in on what's happening with Tua Tagovailoa because I'm watching a guy mentally be vulnerable at some points, but then seem to also unravel time after time after time. The game-losing interception against the Patriots. The game-losing interception against the Bills. The 3 turnovers in a one-possession game against the Chargers. How can you not look yourself in the mirror and say, I am the problem, I need to get better, and also say that behind the microphone? Well, it's because he's coping. And it's because everybody's already pointing the blame at him before he even gets a chance to get in front of that microphone. That's why you get answers like that out of Tua Tagovailoa, and that's why I don't believe that he is going to be the guy that leads the Dolphins to break this 24-season playoff win drought. It's not going to happen, and Dolphins fans don't believe it, and Mike McDaniel doesn't believe it, and I think the one thing saving Mike McDaniel's job right now, CCAT, is the fact that the front office doesn't believe Tua is that guy anymore.
Yeah, with Tua, it kind of, you talk about that leap from being good and great, and Tua is definitively good. I think an important qualifier that considers someone to be a great quarterback is covering up your team's blemishes. And Tua just is not great enough to do that. And that's what's being asked of him, and he simply has not been able to do that, and he might look like he can't do that.
So here are the quarterbacks that I think are definitively in that tier, and then there's some that are on the bubble. Remember Kirk Cousins?
I do. I forgot what he looked like. He's been off my TV screen for over a year now.
That's where Tua lies.
Under a year now.
That's where Tua, about under a year. He might actually pop back on your TV screen if you wait around long enough. You know Kyler Murray, a guy who Jacoby Brissett did things in a Cardinals uniform that he's never done in his career yesterday, excuse me. That Kyler Murray, good enough to get the contract, not great enough to make it worthwhile to the franchise. Tua is in that conversation. We're still waiting to find out if that's Sam Darnold. He's on the bubble because he looks good with the Seahawks. He looked great with the Vikings last year until it mattered most, but he's in that range. Brock Purdy, TBD. TBD. Is that fair to say? I'm not saying he's definitively with Tua where it's good enough to get the contract, not great enough, but he sure does have to prove it still.
Yeah, I told you before the show, I think that Brock Purdy is looking in a time travel machine, and he sees Tua Tagovailoa, and he sees Brock Purdy in 2029.
Whew. And who can doubt that, though? Who can doubt that? Brock Purdy, definitively, he earned the contract that the 49ers gave him, but is he going to make good on it? TBD. Jared Goff kind of was in that. I would say he broke out of that, though. I think he broke out of that tier. He's shown me enough. Now, last year's playoff game was absolutely abysmal. When Dan Campbell talked about after the Chiefs game how it's been a while since he's had a team kneel it out 3 times and you've been down 2 scores and you had nothing that you can do, I was like, buddy, that's how last season ended. I don't remember if it was nils or not, but it wasn't close. And it was because Goff threw how many? 4 interceptions? Him and Justin Herbert absolutely lost the game for the team's last playoff. That's the tier I feel like that Tua is in, and it's the worst tier to be in because once the quarterback gets paid, the team is now invested in him. The team now has to build around him, and you have to build around the deficiencies while he's not uplifting you from the deficiencies of the rest of the team. It is an absolute hellhole to be in, and I have one more. I'm nervous about this one. I don't know if it's quite clear yet. I'm looking for my – it's Trevor Lawrence. It's Trevor Lawrence right there too.
Hey, man, they're having a pretty good season so far.
Is Trevor Lawrence right there too? Because if you're that coach dependent, if it takes this many years and you're that coach dependent, and you're saying he had a pretty good season, what's been the one glaring issue with the Jaguars this year? It's been the passing game, which has been getting better and better under a new system, but it still hasn't been perfect. There's some people that are out on Trevor Lawrence. Even when he won the game against the Chiefs, he did so looking like Goofy, falling all over himself until he finally walked in the end zone thanks to Chris Jones walking it out as well. I'm not saying that he is with Tua. I'm just saying that he's one of those guys on the bubble as well. I still need to see it. That's the issue with the Dolphins right now, and that's the issue with Tua, and I do believe that that's going to cost Mike McDaniel his job. I don't know when, but soon. And when he does, Mike McDaniel to Nashville, Tennessee. Go coach up them Titans, man.
Yeah, that's
your prize.
It's been said by many of people, Mike McDaniel is going to be such a good offensive coordinator wherever he ends up after Miami.
I know it. But guess what?
It's going to be revenge of the nerds. He's going to right all his wrongs and recoup his public perception. He will be the offensive version of Steve Spagnuolo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. That would be actually sick.
Right.
That would be sick. Now, Steve Spagnuolo failed so hard that nobody ever believed in him again. And then he started getting older, and then people were really out on him. I wonder if Mike McDaniel's too young right now.
Work his way back into the same position.
I think he'll be more Josh McDaniel-esque.
Okay.
I think he'll be more like in that vein where he's going to keep getting opportunity, Lane Kiffin-esque, but in a different way, different sport. But yeah, I love Mike McDaniel potentially to the Titans, and I would love to see what they actually end up going with as their intern. We'll find that out on the break, hopefully, and give it to you on the other side. But again, the breaking news of the day, Brian Callahan fired with the Titans. Tua, yet again, not taking accountability and blaming others. What say you? What is the number one issue for these Miami Dolphins? What is the number one issue for the Dolphins in 2025 as they are now 1-4, 1-5, and they blew a late lead to the Chargers in an embarrassing way? Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. What's the number one fix to these Miami Dolphins? You can't just drop Tua because the issue is the guy's under contract for a couple of more years. Maybe you fire Mike McDaniel, but I'm not sure if that solves anything because the offense put up, 30 points? 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, the number one issue with these Miami Dolphins. Welcome to pro-level orthopedic care at Baptist Health. From sports injuries to everyday aches, our expert team delivers the same advanced care trusted by the pros. Get back to the life and the activities you love. Learn more at baptisthealth.com. baptisthealth.net/ortho. And you know what about Baptist Health? I got to be honest with you. They can help your ailments with those joint pains. They can help you out when it comes to any kind of injuries or any kind of sports issues you might fall into. That's why you should go to baptisthealth.net/ortho.
Those pickleball injuries, those golf injuries.
Yeah.
Like, we're all athletes. Might not be playing competitively, recreationally, but you got to get back on the field, man.
You got to get back to the stuff that you love, the stuff that gives you the good feelings. Then the endorphins start going. You're out there and you're playing. And imagine you have to sit out for 3 weeks.
What's that website?
baptisthealth.net/ortho. Pro-level orthopedic care. Go where you see the pros going. baptisthealth.net/ortho. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. We'll take your calls on the other side. We see you in the YouTube chat as well at ESPN West Palm. So make sure you type in your number one issue with the Dolphins and how they can fix it. And an AFC East that is getting growingly tougher to play in, especially if the Patriots are going to be good again. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We are Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3. This is ESPN 106.3, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Find official rules for all your favorite ESPN West Palm contests by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com. That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3, the ESPN app, and streaming on your smart speaker.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, we want to highlight the best performance of the week. The winning performance will receive $500 courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Catch the biggest moments and winners all season long on ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. Nominate them today by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Welcome to being treated like a pro.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE. In office, West Palm Beach.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
You lather, rinse, moisturize, and repeat. At this point, you're practically training for the Shower Olympics. But here's the twist. It's not your shampoo's fault, it's your water. Hard water leaves a mineral residue that clogs your pores and dries out your hair. Culligan water softeners remove damaging minerals, revitalizing brittle hair and dry skin. Upgrade your shower system today for only $79 a month. Visit Culligan.com for more information, or just say,
"Hey, Culligan man!"
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and I...
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manso's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manso's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
We also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
So let it rip.
He always makes excuses, and it's always somebody else's fault. That's who Tua has been through the 6 years he's been in the National Football League. Respect is earned, it's not given. I don't give a damn that you got a C on your chest and that you've been appointed the, quote, leader of the team from the coaches. In the NFL, if your locker room does not respect your quarterback, it's over. Full stop.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
That was on Chris Canty. That was unsportsmanlike Chris Canty, talking about Tua, talking about those Dolphins who fall to 1-5 today. And as we see Brian Callahan get fired, Brian Callahan fired from the Tennessee Titans, one could only assume next man up would be Mike McDaniel. Worthy or not, would be Mike McDaniel. At the very least, people can agree that he is on an unbelievably hot seat. Steaming hot. Very hot. And so hot that, I would advise them maybe he call up my good people at EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing.
It couldn't hurt.
EDSisyes.com. Now, again, they cool your homes. They cool your residents. Maybe they cool your office spaces. Not sure they can do much for Mike McDaniel's hot seat. But what I do know is that they've done a lot for me as a Gold Plan member. As a Gold Plan member with EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing, they help me in so many different ways. I get a percentage off of repairs. I get 2 check-ins every single year that they hit me up to schedule. I don't have to remember. They're going to hit me up preemptively and say, hey, Theo, it's that time. It's that time. It's been 6 months. And then when they pull up, preventative care or repair. This is an AC and plumbing company that wants you to be successful. They want you to be comfortable. They are not looking to come in and run up a bill. They are trying to help you with preventative care as well as address any repairs you may need. That's how they become a company with more than 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating on said Google. They also are helping comfort not be in the way of your budget. How are they doing that, Theo? 0% interest for 60 months to qualified customers. That's what they got offered right now. I'm not sure how long it's going to be out there. But you want to get your whole new AC unit revamped, maybe this summer months took a toll on them. 0% interest for 60 months to qualified customers. The only place to go for air conditioning and plumbing is EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. EDSisyes.com. Yes, ECAT. It feels unfair to judge the scenario around the Miami Dolphins and each person, like to grade them all individually because it all stinks, right? The offensive line has been bad since Tua has been there, at least since his second year. The run game had been hit or miss. Now it's starting to tick up a little bit, and a lot of that is the scheming of Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel is dealing with a roster that has its fair share of holes. I try to compare Brock Purdy and Tua Tagovailoa, right, as guys who got the franchise quarterback money but have to live up to it. The difference is one of them is playing in a very competent organization in the San Francisco 49ers who have gotten things right time and time again, even when they make huge mistakes like trading up for Trey Lance and then him becoming a flop. There's so many fail-safes that they're able to make up for it. Like, people think that good organizations don't make mistakes. They do it all the time.
Yes, but I also think that they are quick to pull the trigger on admitting that it was a mistake.
Yes.
Not being stubborn, digging in their heels, and fighting for themselves to be right by continuing to pretend that, no, we were right. Just got to wait. No, we were. Even though when all flashing lights are indicating that was a mistake in the past, and it looks like for the Miami Dolphins, the mistake was certainly tying their organizational success to the hips of Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa.
Speaking of hips, we knew he had hip injuries coming out of college, and Justin Herbert was right there staring you in the face. But again, we can't go back and recall bad mistakes, bad draft choices or whatever. What you can do is look forward and say, how do you fix the Miami Dolphins? And the best thing that I have going for me in my life is that's not my problem. It really ain't. I ain't got to think about it. I just get to wait and see what they do.
Yeah, man, this hiring, firing season is stressful.
Yeah. Yeah, man, your guy. How about this? Is it going to be on the get around?
It'll be on the get around.
Is it going to be on the safe bound get around? Let's take a trip on the safe bound get around, and I'm going to give you guys a hint. C-Cat, who is a Yankees fan and a Ravens fan, and in college football, he's a fan of Penn State. I think there's a good chance that State College comes up. Let's take a ride.
The Safebound Get Around is brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, South Florida's most trusted moving company. You're safe with Safebound.
Safebound Get Around. Strap up your seatbelts and get ready for the ride of your life. You're going to love it. It's going to be a thrill. It's going to be a joy, and it's going to start in...
Next stop,
my alma mater.
Wow.
State College, Pennsylvania. 15 days after Penn State football had a lead in overtime over Oregon under the whiteout crowd, Penn State has fired James Franklin on Sunday. Happened around lunchtime. They had a press conference about 2 hours before this show started where the athletic director, Pat Kraft, had very pointed and powerful words to say. He was worked to tears when asked about quarterback Drew Aller being out for the season and done with his Penn State career due to the ankle injury he suffered in Penn State's loss to Northwestern. The third consecutive Penn State football loss that drove them to firing James Franklin. Theo, was Penn State right to fire James Franklin?
You know what the craziest thing in everything that you said, C-Cat? I feel like an idiot saying, I didn't even realize they lost to Northwestern this weekend.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that happen. It was so bad already with the Oregon and then with the UCLA. My Saturday was so full of activities and events, and I did not catch all of college football. Miami was on the bye, and I was like, bye-bye. I went back to my old days of Saturdays where I wasn't paying any attention. That is crazy how mighty the mighty have fallen. And this has to be they had to do it. Are you surprised how quickly they did it?
No. The way the buyout works, if they waited to the end of the season, they wouldn't get that much money back. Around $49 or so million being given to James Franklin that will be agreed upon how that will be dished out. And this is a program that is spending the same amount of money, has the same talent pool in-state in recruiting, has similar facilities, and understandably so, similar expectations as the big brothers in their own conference of Ohio State and Michigan. And James Franklin has had over a decade of instances where he's been able to compete with those schools and hasn't been able to do it. And it's one thing to not win the big games. It's another thing to lose an entire locker room before Halloween after another big-time loss. Losing to UCLA was inexcusable. Losing to Northwestern, the very same. Both 20-plus point favorites, one at home, one on the road. The fan base revolted. James Franklin did a lot of great for Penn State football.
He brought them to new heights.
Certainly did. Gave them
new lows,
a season to remember for the end of time in 2016. Winning the Big Ten, beating Ohio State. But he also has shown his ceiling time and time again. And now he's showing a much deeper floor than we thought was possible under this new age of Penn State football. I'm not surprised this happened this early. I am proud of the organization for how they carried out the firing.
Nice.
They did it with class, and I think you will see a very supportive Penn State fan base when Penn State returns home.
You're riled up. When I came in for the pre-show meeting, you seemed a little teary-eyed. You had your wallet in your hands, and as you were pulling out your car, I said, C-Cat, what are you doing? You're like, I'm ready to donate to Penn State Athletics. I said, what the hell is...
Listen, it's going to take all of us to fund this buyout.
$49 million.
If I can make a small contribution, Penn State goes on the road to take on Iowa next week. It's a night game at Kinnick. They're going to be fired up and ready to go.
The season's over. The season's over.
This is a new way to view football because as a Penn State football fan, it's been well documented. Penn State beat the people they were supposed to. So they don't get really excited when you take care of the bottom dwellers of the Big Ten. And then they lose the games that they might be able to win, but they're slight favorites or slight underdogs in. So I don't get enjoyment from those games because they never go in my direction. Now, it feels like beating Iowa is like oh, come on, we're back. We're better, and I'm excited.
You're playing spoiler.
Exactly. Right now, what do you think
you
the
lost
line?
Your backup because the guy that was going to be the backup transferred out last year.
Yeah, and he's playing great football. Bo Pribula with Missouri.
That sucks. Okay.
Nearly beat Alabama. November 1st, Penn State hits the road to take on number 1 Ohio State. What would you guess to be the look-ahead line in that game right now?
Y'all are
with
plus
Drew Aller
plus 17
gone.
and a half.
Try 4 points, buddy. Upset Bruin at the Horseshoe. Penn State playing as free of football as they have in the past decade plus.
You know what? Ohio State's not blowing teams out like that. So, I guess. Not a fan of it, I guess. Happy for Penn State fans if you feel free from the shackles of mediocrity that you were presented with this year. But do not forget the great years. And also do not forget that you got to make the right hire next. It's one thing to fire a guy and feel good. It's another thing to hire a guy and feel great.
I got to be honest. I told you that I got fired up from the athletic director and his statement, Pat Kraft. I'm going to be on board with whoever they hire.
You don't even care.
Might be Matt Rule. That's okay. Apparently, they're best buds.
Matt Rule actually is a good college football coach.
He's a good college football coach. He's in the conference. He's a Penn State, he's from State College.
Okay, I was about to say, what?
He might be the home run hire. People are talking about Indiana's coach, Curt Cignetti, after knocking off Oregon on the road as a Hoosier. What?
That was the game. That was the one game I caught. That was the one game I made. I set my schedule around a 3:30 kick to make sure I was locked in on, and boy, did I enjoy it. Shout out my boy Fernando Mendoza, QB1 of this class to me so far. I started the season saying it was Cade Klubnik. I should have went with my priors, which I knew Mendoza was that guy since he was at Cal, and that dude right there can ball. He made one big mistake. That one interception he had in the third quarter, I believe, had me a little antsy, but a 10-point win and a demonstrative one for Indiana, who now is going to be a lock to make the 12-team college football playoff. Y'all was hating on their schedule, but Curt Cignetti said, watch this. Watch this. Yeah. Okay, what's the next stop? We spent a lot of time in State College.
Next stop.
Didn't even stop at P-Man's. We could have done a lot of stuff at State College, but I guess the safe-bound get-around must continue.
Yeah, it does.
And it will now go to the NFL. Couple of storylines from yesterday's game, but it started off with not a bang, a disgusting display of football. The Broncos beat the Jets, if you want to call it by definition, 13-11 in London. Justin Fields, -10 net passing yards.
Crazy.
Were you able to watch that game in its entirety?
No, I had it on my I was actually streaming it. I was at this Bigger Than Sports 5K in Boca Raton, who, by the way, everybody and their mama was there. I saw Atlantic High School head coach Jamel Murray there. I saw, the mayor there. It was crazy. It was at Lynn University. Great run for a good cause. So I had it on my phone streaming it as I was also shooting this production at the race. And every time I looked down, something weird was happening. And then I looked up, and I remember texting you guys in the Theoretically Speaking chat, CCAT. I was like, the hell is going on? Because everybody's talking down on Aaron Glenn, including Kurt Warner, who, by the way, he tweeted out what the hell were the Jets doing there at the end of the half.
Running a fake punt on your own half of the field and then just giving up on the drive.
And just saying, all right, that was
running
fun.
A draw on 1st and 10, be like, you know what? I think we're good here.
And Garrett Wilson berates Aaron Glenn on the sideline. He gets benched seemingly for the first possession of the next half. But the funny part about it was Kurt Warner was on the call.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner he turned his mic off. He turned away from the broadcast and he tweeted.
Let me get this take off real quick.
That's how incredulous he was. That was crazy. That was a crazy bad game, man. Wait.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Honestly, yeah.
They are.
That's a franchise that is built to kind of accept a 13-11 loss on foreign soil.
I refuse for you guys to put Aaron Glenn on the hot seat. He deserves a year 2. I don't know what the hell is going on out there in New York, but if Brian Callahan can survive in the 6-7 weeks into the next year, I need to see Aaron Glenn. I need to see a full 20-plus games of Aaron Glenn before I give up on that.
Bigger display of failure from Justin Fields or Aaron Glenn that lost to the Broncos?
So here's my issue. If you're going to criticize Aaron Glenn, I don't look at him as the offensive savant. He's clearly not. He's came from a defensive background, both when he played and as a coordinator. He also brought in Tanner Engstrom from the Detroit Lions to be the offensive coordinator to lead that side of the ball. So if they can't get things right, that is an offensive struggle problem, whereas the defense and the special team of the Jets were absolutely abominable in a good way. The defensive side of the Jets, they were the ones giving the Jets a chance, where the offense was incompetent. Yeah, they shut down Bo Nix and Sean Payton. So he's good at what he's good at, but I guess the issue for Aaron Glenn right now is that
we're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Just
they are. For having a good to great defense and no offense.
That's what they do.
That is, even when they're good, even when they are, he's in the news, Mark Sanchez, even though they're winning playoff games, it's on the back of that defense, dragging through the dirt the offense of the Jets.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if they're cursed, because now Aaron Rodgers is also looking good. I'm starting to wonder if the Jets are just cursed. I also do wonder, though, is this not best case scenario for the Jets to lose enough to get a top pick and then get the best quarterback out of this draft? But then again, we've heard that story before, and it sounds like Sam Darnold.
Next stop.
Funny you should bring up he who shall not be named, because we are in Pittsburgh, PA.
I don't want to go there.
We're with the Yinzers, baby, because the Steelers beat the Browns 23-9. They improved to 4-1 on the season, head and shoulders above the rest in the AFC North. Are you ready to start believing in the Aaron Rodgers-led Steelers? Because they've surprised me, Theo. I was a denier. I thought this was going to be a horrible season for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Our in-house NFL expert, Mike Tannenbaum, said we would start thinking about backup quarterback starting, Will Howard starting by Thanksgiving for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Well, we're far ways away from that, as the Steelers won that rivalry matchup in Pittsburgh yesterday. Even though they didn't score a touchdown in the first half.
Let me cool you down. You know how sometimes they say, hey, you're getting a little too hot and bothered. Let me get you this cold shower. Let me cool the Jets a little bit here. There's children around. Week 1 for the Steelers. They faced the Jets on the road. The same Jets that are the only winless team left in the NFL. They win 34-32. They need a couple of game-breaking plays in the end to clinch that one. One of those plays was DK Metcalf dropping the ball. It bounced off a defender who was on the ground. Then he caught the ball. So very lucky win. Week 2, they play a good NFL team, the Seattle Seahawks, a full-strength good team, and it was at home for the Steelers. 31-17, they get blown out.
Hey, don't forget about that kickoff miscue fumble touchdown that was given to Seattle.
Yeah. All right, so they should have lost by 1 touchdown and not 2. Okay. All right, Week 3, Steelers at Patriots. 21-14, that's a solid win over, Week 3, Drake May? Different Drake May today. I wonder how that would go. Next week, the Steelers play the Vikings. Oh, the Vikings are really good. The Steelers win this one, actually, 24-21. Wow. Great win. Hold on, let me go click on the box score to see who. Oh, that was Carson Wentz. That was the Carson Wentz game. Okay.
He had 350 yards.
Yeah, they play Carson Wentz in the Steelers, in the Vikings. Not the guy that Kevin O'Connell prepared to start this year. And then you get a win over Dylan Gabriel in the Cleveland Browns at home as well. So those are your wins. Your wins are the Browns, the Vikings, the Patriots, and the Jets. It's a fraudulent 4-1. This is the 11-0 team all over again. They are inevitably going to collapse at some point, and that's the reason why their numbers on every single sports book have not changed that much for winning that division.
Hey, they're favorites now.
Finally, they're favorites. All it took was Lamar Jackson being out 3 weeks. All it took was the Browns struggling to decide between Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And I don't know what the hell is going on with the Bengals. I don't care to know, because Jamar Chase is saying some very foul things about what he thinks the Steelers are going to do to them next week.
So you will have to wait until Week 8. Next week, well, 3 days from now, it's Steelers-Bengals
And did you hear Jamar?
Pittsburgh.
You hear what Jamar Chase said that the Steelers are preparing to do to them? Because once you do hear that, you're gonna put money on the Steelers to win that game. His mind is in the wrong place.
Okay.
Yeah.
The week after that, they've got the Packers and Sunday Night Football.
They're gonna get crushed by the Packers. They're gonna lose to good teams all year long.
Fair enough.
Keep it G.
Next stop.
We will go to Kansas City, Missouri,
Damn
because
right we
I want
will.
to see a change of attitude from Theo Dorsey. I
Damn
want to see
right.
a smile on that face.
Damn right.
The Chiefs really dominated the Lions in a 30-17 win at home. Mahomes had a couple of nice plays, worked some magic. What was your main takeaway from KC hosting Detroit?
The Chiefs are the best team in football. But you know what's funny, C-Cat? I told you that the day after, or 2 days after because you were out Monday, the day after, actually it was the day after because it was Tuesday. The day after the Chiefs lost to the Jaguars on primetime. I said the Chiefs are the best team in football. When they get their full core back, they're going to look like it. And they did. And they did so without their starting left tackle against the Lions. And they did so in a dominant fashion where the defense did exactly what I said, and that was shut down that run game, stop all that intermediate passing stuff over the middle because they got some fast linebackers that cover east to west. And then you got Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Steve Spagnuolo. The best team in football, and they get Rashee Rice back next week. Go get ready to cash those Super Bowl tickets if you bought them low like I did.
What was a low watermark? What was the best price you got for a Chiefs
plus
Super Bowl?
$1,100.
Really?
It got to plus $1,100.
Wow.
I believe. I got to go back and double check it because now you're making me second guess it. But right now it's at $700. So yeah, I think it was like right around plus $1,100.
Yeah,
people
they
were
look
out
good.
on them. They looked bad. They were bad. So
All right, and we've got one more stop.
Next stop.
We are going to College Station, Texas. That's where the Aggies play. Because the Texas A&M Police Twitter account famously posts every arrest they make on game days, entertaining the mass. Apparently, someone got arrested for public intoxication.
plus 900. That's the best one I got it.
They had a water jug of whiskey while they were eating a sandwich. Their blood alcohol content was 0.337. They got released to EMS.
Right.
So, my question for you, Theo, is do you recall a creative way to sneak the goods into a public event? A water jug of whiskey, isn't that
stupid.
creative?
That's bad.
Because a water jug is more often than not see-through, and you can see that that's not a
You can tell that's a guy that likes he has a liquor preference and he will not fold. He's like, I don't do vodka, I don't do gin, I don't do tequila, I like whiskey.
Think about the people that go to the gym and are obnoxious with their big water jug.
Yeah.
With just brown
whiskey?
liquor.
Like, dude, who are you fooling? I've been good about this. Mostly with cruises, man. I mean, if I'm going on your cruise, if you see my name on that cruise list, you best believe you better check my bag twice.
Well, you got contraband.
Yeah.
I've never been on a cruise
contraband
before.
man.
I see on Instagram Reels or TikTok
guy.
people getting caught.
Yeah.
Because people will post the way that they snuck their drinks from TikTok.
Yeah.
And they'll get caught on that cruise because they will find those videos that are posted online because you can't do anything with that posted these days.
Right.
And they'll get raided by the authorities.
Yeah. I'm not going to post it. I'm not silly enough to post it, but I'm like that, dog. If I go on a cruise, if you see me on a cruise, best believe I brought my own booze.
So what's
You feel me?
what's one of the ways?
Well, it's easy, actually. You get these certain containers in it. So the first time I ever did it, I actually got these fake umbrella-looking containers. It looked like an umbrella, and you just fill it up with liquor. And it's very easy. And you tuck it into your jeans. You roll your jeans up, and you pack it tight. I'm giving y'all here's the funny thing. I'm so confident. I'm so arrogant. I'm like Larry Bird. I'm going to give you the game plan. I'm going to give you exactly what I'm going to do, and guess what? You're still not going to catch me because I'm like that. I'm undefeated, by the way.
The best I did was going into a Penn State game with just my jeans tucked into boots, and then I just dropped cans down my pant leg.
Oh.
So it looked like exceptionally baggy jeans when in reality,
Cans of
pinned
beer.
against my leg was just cans.
Yeah.
Like twisted
That's
tea
an
or something.
inefficient thing to take in, though. You got it, very inefficient.
What do you mean? I can fit
Cans
like
of-
3 tall boys. That's good for the
Oh,
game.
you're right. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, but still, the most efficient thing to sneak in anywhere is
I don't
liquor
get-
because of its potency.
True.
You know, you less liquid that you have to hide. So you're over here playing a very inefficient game, brother.
I don't know how the metal detectors didn't go off. Cans are metal.
They're
and I walked through
aluminum,
metal.
They're not looking for that, though.
That was when I walked in halftime.
Yeah.
So that's when they just kind of give up.
Yeah. They also, I feel like some things don't go off. They're really just looking for weapons. I don't even think a lot of times people care as much about that. They're like, all right, we might lose a little bit on liquor sales.
True.
But they definitely just don't want you walking in with a weapon. So and me too.
Yeah, it's in everybody's best interest.
Yeah,
You're right.
Screen for the things that matter. And that was the safe bound get around. On the other side, are the Chiefs the best team in football? Are the Kansas City Chiefs, is what they did last night, definitive proof that they are the top dogs? Sports books are leaning that way. I'll tell you how I feel about it. But first, C-Cat, tell me how you feel about Kaiser.
I feel great about Kaiser because Kaiser drove down to Miami Gardens, their football team, took down Florida Memorial, a program on the rise, and they just dominated the second half. Your number 2 ranked Kaiser Seahawks in the nation improve to undefeated on the season. These Kaiser Seahawks have a home game this weekend in West Palm Beach. If you want to see local talent, don the Kaiser Seahawk blue. If you want to see local talent take on their bitter, heated rival that goes with the name of St. Thomas. 6 o'clock, Kaiser Multipurpose Field. I'll be on the call for it. It'll be on ESPN 106.3. It'll be on the Urban Edge Network. I'm looking forward to this one because St. Thomas is a top 10 ranked team in the country. So you got a clash of the Titans in NAIA football, and that happens right here in the 561. You don't want to miss that. 6 o'clock Saturday. Make sure you join us. It'll be a great atmosphere. Kaiser's looking good once again, trying to go back to the NAIA National Championship game for the 3rd consecutive year on that football field. They're well-rounded at Kaiser. It's not just football. They're championships in the classroom and all across their athletic programs. 26 national championships, 26 red banners. Unbelievable. One of those is a Kaiser football national championship. They're trying to win the whole thing again this year. KUSeahawks.com. KUSeahawks.com. That's where you can get more information, get tickets, get game day information. I will see you at Kaiser Multipurpose Field, 6 o'clock this Saturday.
C-Cat, quick question.
I'm all ears.
Jonathan Taylor to win Offensive Player of the Year. I have a $5 ticket that could pay out $80. Can I cash out at $30? He's a running back.
Can you?
I put $5 on it, could win me $80. Cash out at $30? That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Offensive Player of the Year. Puka Nacua might sneak up. Christian McCaffrey. $30. We'll discuss this on the break. Give me your answer on the other side. Or what would your quick answer be? Just take it, huh?
Take the money.
Take the money.
Take the money and run, because if the Colts are good this year, it's the Daniel Jones story. It's not the Jonathan Taylor story, right?
It's going to be hard for him to win Offensive Player of the Year if they do end up definitively doing it. Plus, he's a running back. You never know what's going to happen. Take the money. We'll take the money, and we'll give you the happy hour on the other side. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We are Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
This Halloween, the scariest thing on your team shouldn't be your books. Don't be scared. Jay Zolo and Associates is here to exercise your bookkeeping nightmares. With QuickBooks Online and expert care, let Jay Zolo bring your books from RIP to MVP. Let the only skeletons you deal with be the ones in costumes. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia. Are you tired of the hassle of buying a car? At Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach, we're changing the game. No pushy salespeople here, just friendly product specialists on salary here to help you find the perfect ride. With over 500 vehicles in stock and a goal to sell 250 by month's end, that means incredible deals are waiting for you. Forget the back and forth negotiations. Once you pick your dream Kia, you'll work with one manager the entire time, making decisions on the spot for a smooth, stress-free experience. We'll even handle the paperwork, your tags, insurance, and every detail. Need help learning all the features? We'll schedule a post-delivery session when it's convenient for you. And if you can't make it in, we'll bring a new Kia right to your home or office for a test drive. Plus, for a limited time, you'll see the factory invoice right on the windshield of every car in the showroom. Visit Greenway Kia today or shop online at GreenwayKiaWestPalmBeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Step inside the Gardens Mall to witness Halloween magic. On Saturday, October 25th, bring the little monsters to the Kids Club Spooky Soiree. Wear your costume to the Grand Court and indulge in offers from participating stores starting at noon. Booga and Hooga will also be in the house for a special performance at 1 p.m. Stick around afterwards to have your photo taken with the stars of the show. Fun is brewing at the Gardens Mall. You don't want to miss it.
Serving clients for over 30 years, Team IP has been the #1 souvenir merchandiser in the U.S., proudly powering over 2,800 events and 24 college football bowl games every year, including ESPN, ESPN events, and the Boca Raton Bowl, right here in South Florida. From custom apparel to branded promo gear, we bring your event to life. Want to boost your brand? Visit teamip.com and make Team IP your team today. Teamwork makes the dream work.
F45 Training West Palm Beach offers functional group fitness classes reimagined. Sign up for F45 today and visit their West Palm Beach location. Featuring high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven, F45 always has the right workout for you. Not to mention, it takes just 45 minutes. Visit F45training.com today to find a studio near you and officially join the F45 Training family. F45, team training, life-changing.
The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. The next chapter of Audi is here. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit SignoramawPB.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Racetrack is proud to support our local high school football teams. Whether it's Friday night lights or tailgate parties, Racetrack has whatever gets you going to fuel all the gridiron excitement this fall. Grab your favorite snacks, crispy chips, delicious Nathan's hot dogs, sweet treats, or our house-made pizza slices. Don't forget to quench your thirst with a variety of ice-cold drinks. Racetrack, your one-stop shop to fuel your football Fridays.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. This is the happy hour. This is Theoretically Speaking right here on ESPN 106.3. It is a Motion Monday. A Motion Monday, and no team in the NFL has more motion than those Kansas City Chiefs who you saw claw, fight, dominate their way to victory last night. So much domination that, damn it, the whistles blew, the horn sounded. The Lions weren't done. They wanted more. They've got a humiliation king. They a little S&M. They were like, hey, Brian Branch was like, more please, sir. 30-17 wasn't enough. I want another quarter to get beat down even some more. And you know what? Juju Smith-Schuster didn't handle that. I think Brian Branch might have gotten the best of that fight, despite Isaiah Pacheco trying to help out as well. But it doesn't matter. The fight between the lines is what matters most. Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdowns, 257 yards, 22 for 30. Another masterclass. The run game finally got some life. Pacheco over 50 yards for the first time. Didn't get into the end zone, but guess who did? Mahomes did on one of his 10 carries. The dude is still running the ball like freaking Josh Allen these days. And then there was the arrival of Travis Kelce. I'm not sure if it was and this is not my words, this comes from the actual critics and the fans. I'm not sure if it was the mediocrity of his fiance's album.
What?
That's what they're saying.
Who?
But Travis Kelce caught 6 balls, 78 yards, and he instilled some good vibes into that household, and the Chiefs get the win. Seacats on the other side of the glass on the ones and the twos. I'm guessing you picked up the latest Taylor Swift album, and what were your thoughts?
I bought it on vinyl for my significant other.
Nice.
You know, that was a great August purchase.
Is she a Swiftie?
No.
But she just likes music.
She can't consider herself a Swiftie because the Swifties are too rabid of fan base, and they know so much about this one specific thing. And she would get, just fool. She'd look like an idiot if she thought she was the same level of fan as those people.
But
so she likes Taylor Swift.
Your words.
She sees the Reddit, she sees like the social media, and she can't liken herself with those folk.
I feel you.
So she likes Taylor Swift. She does not consider herself a Swiftie.
Okay.
But wait, so you're trying to twist Travis Kelce having a good game because the album that his fiance put out was bad?
Yeah, I'm saying maybe he's like, all right, we got to get a win here.
Like someone's got to bring some money home?
No, she's still bringing the money home. I'm saying there's a difference between just making money and then just a pure joy and elation, the happiness that comes with winning. Travis Kelce gets paid win, lose, or draw.
Right.
A good performance for Travis Kelce.
So you think the PR of the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift relationship was taking a downturn because of album sales?
It actually was. I mean, I've seen people who consider themselves quote unquote Swifties down on the album.
Oh, come on now, man.
Are you thinking they're not Swifties?
I just don't know how you're basing opinions on stuff.
What
and
do you
it's
mean basing
opinions?
It's off of vibes. It's literally off of vibes.
Nothing.
What?
Matthew McConaughey about how numbers are just fake. They're nothing.
Yeah.
They're nothing. Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, so what?
Vibes.
What is your I'm not sure.
I saw Travis Kelce drop a ball in that first half. I saw him.
Yeah, he
look
dropped
old.
one ball, but he caught 6 of them and got 78 yards. Are you saying that it's wrong because of why I believe he had a bounce back game?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that he had a bounce back game because they were at home. Because Patrick Mahomes himself looked a little bit better last night.
You want to hear the real analysis of it?
Please, give me the X's and O's.
Because he was playing against linebackers and not DBs.
Mm.
Oh, it's because the Lions had Jack Campbell and Anzalone on him and not like a nickel corner like other teams will play him, and he's not athletic enough to get separation from those guys. And the different coverage, if you play man on Kelce these days, it doesn't feel like an advantage for the Chiefs anymore. He only wins when teams are playing zone, and the Lions played a lot of zone, so he got free.
Kind of makes sense.
That's boring.
Yeah, it is.
You want to hear that crap?
Because he's got that shared hive mind with Patrick Mahomes, where they both know what each other are thinking. So if you're on zone, you can kind of find the soft spot, even if that's not what the route is calling for. Mahomes knows that Kelce will go to where he has to go in order to be the either good safety valve or big play threat.
Yeah, and you saw that from the first play of the game. He ran a quick curl. I don't know what kind of zone the Lions were playing, but it was like a quick curl. He caught it. He gave a fake outside and went inside. Got both of those. Got the backer and I believe the safety to bite on the outside turn. He turns inside. He gets an extra 10 yards or so. That was not run after the catch because he's explosive. That was craftiness. He's got an old man and Lifetime Fitness kind of game. And it's cool. It's cool.
Hanging out around the 3-point line and going to his post a little bit.
Yeah, he's literally got the old man game and the old man body. And last night, that's all the Chiefs needed to get a win over a Lions team that was a juggernaut until they ran into a real dog, a real animal.
And you thought last night was enough evidence to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, they are. There's not a team in the NFL I would pick over the Chiefs today. I believe the Chiefs are not only the best team in the NFL, but they are now they were always my Super Bowl favorite. But on sports books and in a lot of people's minds after seeing last night's dominant win, they should be the Super Bowl favorites nationwide. They have proven the most of all of the good teams right now, and they've proven the most this year. Nah, that's wrong. I wouldn't say they've proven the most this year, but they've done the most with what they've had, and what they have is a very short-stacked team, and it all changes next week when they get their best offensive player outside of Mahomes back at home against the Raiders. Rashee Rice returns from suspension next week. The Chiefs also played last night without their starting left tackle. They had a backup tackle, and what's been the biggest deficiency of that team over the past 2 or 3 years? The depth of their offensive line and the play of their tackles. The fact that their backup tackle was able to hold off a Lions front in a primetime game. They have so much of a greater margin of error this year than they did last year, and I do feel like they are the best team in football right now.
So the sports books do not consider the Kansas City Chiefs to be the favorite to win the Super Bowl. I don't know if that means they don't consider them to be the best team in football, but at least that's one of the numbers that we can use to think outside of this room right now. The Buffalo Bills are your favorites to win the Super Bowl this year at plus 500. The Chiefs are right up behind them at plus 700. And I think that, if you ask me, I think they are currently I think that there are 8 teams that can win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
And I am being incredibly biased by including this 8th team as the Baltimore Ravens. Okay. I think that their backs are against the wall. What they look like after the bye with Lamar Jackson back in the field, maybe he's not 100% healthy, but I would consider him. But outside the Ravens, the other 7 teams that I have are the Bills, Chiefs, Packers, Lions, Eagles, Rams, Buccaneers. Can win a Super Bowl. I don't think I consider them all my leaders in the clubhouse, but can win a Super Bowl this year.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Buccaneers. What are those last couple of ones?
Rams, Eagles.
Rams. That's what I was missing. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Each of those teams, like the one that will be the biggest shock is the Buccaneers. But each of those teams I can see having the juice to win a Super Bowl.
I love what I'm seeing out of the Buccaneers, man.
Uh-oh.
The Buccaneers have me love-struck. Like I am punch-drunk love or whatever it is.
I don't know.
Every idiom, metaphor you want to use to describe how I view the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when I watch them play football, it applies. Baker Mayfield was throwing the football to plumbers and architects yesterday.
Yeah.
And he still beat the 49ers, who were on a 3-game win streak. I don't care if Brock Purdy wasn't playing.
Yeah, Mac Jones has been better almost.
Exactly. The Buccaneers currently have 16-1 odds to win the Super Bowl. They're the biggest long shot apart from the Ravens that I'm considering Super Bowl possible winners. Ravens are 22.5 to 1.
Yeah.
What say you?
If I had to put my money on either the Buccaneers or the Ravens today to win the Super Bowl, is that what you're asking, pretty much?
Yeah. Or do you think that I'm fair in my assessment of those 8 teams? As every other team that you bet money to win the Super Bowl right now, you're kind of just burning your money.
If you are willing to bet the Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl, you should also put in these other tickets separately. A Baker Mayfield MVP ticket. Like that should be the case. And also, is Todd Bowles getting any love for Coach of the Year? Because I know we want to give and heap all the credit onto Baker Mayfield. But also, they've been without Bucky Irvin, without Chris Godwin, without Mike Evans. I think, did Sterling Shepard even go down? Like they have Emeka Egbuka, the rookie superstar, has been out as well. Tristan Wirfs started the year on the injury report. The Buccaneers have been so banged up that if they were 1-5 right now, we would give them every excuse in the world and it would be right. Instead, they're 5-1. And a lot of that credit does go to the quarterback for keeping the team ahead of the chains and keeping the team galvanized. And that's what Baker Mayfield does with his play, with his leadership, with his moxie. They love Baker. But you also do have to give a head coach some credit in saying, hey, how are you keeping this thing together when everything around you seems to be dismantling when it comes to health? Like, there's other tickets around that I would be more comfortable picking than Super Bowl champion Buccaneers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But next week, they are at the Detroit Lions. If they can pull off a win at Ford Field, C-Cat, and improve to 6-1 and put themselves in the driver's seat to be the number 1 seed in the NFC and have a bye week, I know it's early, but if they are able to pass that test, I would be all in on saying, okay, maybe they can win a Super Bowl. But I do think that is the next level. And I hate to keep moving the goalpost, but I don't think it's moving the goalpost. It's increasing the expectations on an improving team.
We talk about all the time. The NFL, from a fan and media perspective, in terms of drawing conclusions, you have to be a wait-and-see league.
Yeah.
Like, we had to wait and see with the Kansas City Chiefs because they did not look good early on. Like, even after they beat the Ravens, okay, Lamar didn't play the entire game. They never staved off what could have been a comeback. I know the game got out of hand early, but when you have Lamar Jackson healthy playing quarterback, and it proved to not be a tab-out injury where he was actually injured for several weeks thereafter, I think you do need to gather more and more data to prove that wins are not just a hot streak, a lucky streak. We got to prove that somebody's wins are their identity. When you get more and more proof of it, I think it's completely fair by you to say that they got to pass a Lions test. They're 5.5-point underdogs on the road
that would be the
in
one.
Detroit.
Like, if you believe the Buccaneers are going to win that game, go ahead and put that ticket in for Baker Mayfield MVP right now. If you feel like don't bother betting on the 5.5 or betting on the game, bet on Baker Mayfield MVP. Because he would have to do so again shorthanded and this time on the road against one of the NFC favorites. And the Lions, as bad as they looked last night in primetime, they are astronomically good after a loss under Dan Campbell.
Oh, yeah, we saw them this year.
Yeah, they get reckless.
Where they just decimated the Bears.
Yeah, they get reckless after losses.
And you want to talk about those MVP tickets? Like, if you were interested in betting on the MVP, it's like a 3-dragon race right now. 3 horses are Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. I wonder what are the odds on each of those guys?
It's Josh Allen plus 150, Patrick Mahomes plus 250, Baker Mayfield plus 450.
So the value is all on Mayfield right now. Because I do think that they are kind of, I would honestly say it's between Mahomes and Mayfield more so than Josh Allen.
Yeah. I think it's so early in the season that you almost prognosticate best player on best team.
Yeah.
And the Bills right now are like I mentioned, favorites to win the Super Bowl, even though they're coming off a loss to the Patriots at home. But I do consider the Bills to be the best team in football right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's best player, best team, and it's only wrapping up week 6.
I still think the Chiefs are the best team, but the records don't show that. And the Bills are well en route to win the 1 seed in the AFC, which can go a long way in debating out who's going to be the MVP. So we'll have to see on that front. But I would feel most comfortable if I was putting a ticket in on any of those 3 guys, it would be almost reverse order, where I would go Mayfield, Mahomes, and then Allen. I think Mahomes ends up having the better season, especially as he gets his number 1 weapon back next week. I also think the Chiefs likely end up, either having an equal record or a better record than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But part of the Mahomes fatigue and Chiefs fatigue, I think, is going to work against him in an MVP candidacy, whereas everybody loves Baker Mayfield. Everybody feels like he got an unfair shake. Did you see the graphic in the Buccaneers 49ers game? I believe this was on Fox. It was the second slate where they talked about Baker Mayfield's career and the Carolina Panthers portion of his career. They had him out in the middle of the ocean fighting for his. He was like,
He was treading water like it was Jaws.
Yes, like everybody else, every other team that they showed Baker Mayfield with, it was like the Cleveland Browns. Here was his record. He was on a ship or something like that with the Browns. And then it showed him in the water fighting for his life. They didn't put any stats up, any records up. It was like a quick flash of him in a Panthers helmet fighting for his life in the middle of the ocean, and then he jumped into like wherever the Rams was, whatever. But it was just hilarious vision and sight to see because you remember Baker Mayfield, scout team defensive tackle for the Carolina Panthers at one point, goes to the Rams, wins a primetime game, and then now he's at the Buccaneers and he's winning game after game after division after division. He's just such a beloved character right now.
Yeah,
that if it comes down to a Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen type tie like we had last year, which I don't think it was a tie. Lamar actually outplayed him and had better stats and a better record, but that's null and void. If it comes down to a close call and it's Mahomes or Mayfield, or even Mahomes, Mayfield, and Allen, who's going to win that?
I'm 100% with you.
Baker Mayfield.
The narrative-based award.
Yeah.
The comeback story, it's a cliche for a reason because everyone loves a comeback. And Josh Allen already got one, and it happened to be last year. If it is a toss-up, it's going to Baker Mayfield. His story is ridiculous. Like that, for the fact that the only reason he's in this position right now is because he led a game-winning drive with 2 days of prep for the Rams in that random primetime game. That was a Thursday night football game.
That was
they signed him that week.
Yeah,
and
like
that's
on a Wednesday.
the reason the Buccaneers took a chance on him, and he's taken over that franchise for Tom Brady.
Good organization. Great organizations. Great organizations. What do they do time and time again? And bad organizations like the Panthers, bad organizations like the Jets, bad organizations like the Giants, which is weird because they were good at one point, but now I start to feel like I'm leaning towards they're not. They compound on their mistakes.
Yeah, Baker MVP odds plus 450. It would be worth a sprinkle. And you sent me this audio. It was very funny. Tez Johnson, wide receiver for the Buccaneers, scored a touchdown thrown by Baker Mayfield. And he had this to say post-game about something he heard from the crowd.
I'm going to tell you a funny story. This is crazy. When I score and I hit MVP chant, I'm thinking they talking about me. So I asked Shep. I'm like, Shep, they was chanting MVP? And he was like, yeah. I was like, I ain't do nothing this year. And then he was like, they talking about Baker, Tez. And I was like, well, that explains it. But he is the MVP.
That's great. That's great. That's. Is it better or worse than when you think somebody's waving at you and you wave back and you realize it's not you? At least the crowd didn't know he thought the MVP chants were for him. At least he wasn't like, yeah, let's hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear it. That's me, baby.
I've been getting caught really bad with that, thinking someone's talking to me and they're not. Like a derivative of the thinking someone's waving at you, but they're not. Especially in a setting of like a bar where someone's like saying thank you, I'll reflexively say you're welcome, even though I'm not looking at them, so I assume they're talking to me.
Yeah.
But they're looking in the exact opposite direction. And I say it loud enough to where I get a quick little head turn.
And they're like, what the hell is this dude?
I don't know if it's narcissism or if it is insecurity of being impolite.
That's what it is. It's that. It's the second one, knowing you.
I can't risk someone think that I'm being rude. I just simply can't risk that in my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
My social anxiety won't allow that. So I go for the option B of saying you're welcome to someone who did not tell me thank you.
It's awkward, but it's somehow better because it does feel incredibly rude or bad when you like absolutely shun somebody, when you leave them hanging on a remark. And I had that happen to me when I was at the Bigger Than Sports 5K this weekend out in Boca Raton, where it was a couple of FAU guys hanging out under a tent. One of them had shades on, and he was sitting down, and he's looking in my direction. And somebody I know is right next to me who was kind of talking to him, but he said something twice. This is the issue. He said it once. Nobody responded. It was in our direction. He says it again. And then I go to respond, and then he takes the shades off. He like tips the shades down. I was like, no, I was talking to him. And then they just continue their conversation. And I was like, oh boy,
man, you were trying to bail him out. You were trying to take ownership.
And I
I'm here for you. I hear you.
Yeah, I'm like, I validated his. And he was like, no, I want to talk to that guy next to you, the jerk that's ignoring me. Like, all right, great, cool. Well, you guys go have fun. Yeah, you guys go have fun. That was not nice. But you know what is? Duffy Sports Grill. If they want to go have fun for real, then they should do so at a Duffy Sports Grill. There's a game tonight. Wait, not one, but two. And if you want to watch multiple games at the same time, there's only one place I recommend that is a Duffy's Sports Grill, Duffy'sMVP.com. Go online right now. Find out where the nearest one is to you. Get your tail in there tonight and enjoy some 2-for-1 drinks because it's all day, every day. I don't even have to tell you what time to show up. Whatever time you show up, the 2-for-1 drinks begin. And then whatever time you leave, that's when the 2-for-1 drinks end for you. It's on your clock. It's on your timing. And that's the perfect timing at a Duffy Sports Grill. They also have the new football features like their pulled pork barbecue nachos. They got the Duffy's Double Smash Burgers, 2 certified Angus beef patties smashed with caramelized onions, topped with melty aged sharp cheddar. Got to get it on the artisan bun. And, of course, you got the wings, the award-winning wings at Duffy's. You can get them tossed in 17 different flavors. Get them tossed in 17 different flavors. The Jets getting tossed in 17 different games this year. Those wings at Duffy's, same green, but more positive spin. 2-for-1 drinks all day, game day buckets all season long. No one does football season like Duffy's. Visit your local Duffy Sports Grill today and peep the action on the television screens. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Playoff baseball, too. You get lost in the fold when you got your fantasy team going on. It's you want to, playoff baseball is a good television product, but if you've got dollars on the line, you probably default to the football. Yeah, but at Duffy's, you get both.
It's a more passive watch sometimes, the baseball is. Mariners at Blue Jays and Dodgers at Brewers.
Man, I'm so, as a Yankees fan, seeing the Blue Jays only score 1 run.
You're like, what the hell? Where the hell was that?
Exactly.
Doesn't that suck?
It is awful. I have had a rough month of October as a sports fan, but I think that Penn State firing James Franklin is the move that had to be made and the move that's going to turn the tide.
C-Cat, just like a week ago, you were like, all things are going cat. And I said, whoa, pump the brakes. Yo, he had like 4 or 5 good things happen in a row for him. I forget what that was.
Okay,
that was. Yeah. But you were like, everything's turning up, cat. I was like, don't say that out loud.
I had my personal best on the golf course. I went to AEW like wrestling in at Hard Rock down in Fort Lauderdale. Penn State won, I believe it was game 2 of the wild card series. Might have been it was game 3 of the divisional series.
The Yankees. You said Penn State.
Oh yeah, the Yankees. Penn State was undefeated. Things were looking pretty good.
And then they just all went to hell.
Yeah.
That's how life works. It's ups, it's downs. It's ups, it's downs. It's highs, it's lows.
Mm-hmm.
And you started celebrating the highs, and the pride comes before the fall.
Maybe the Nets will surprise me this year. Maybe I'm going to watch all 82 of the Nets.
This guy is signing himself up.
Season starts next week, right?
Yeah, a week and a half. About a week and a half.
I think next Tuesday.
It's not a week and a half from now?
That's a week and a day,
a week and a day at this. Oh, yeah, you're right. Damn. Snuck up on us. Heat home opener, I'm mad I'm going to miss because I'll be at homecoming, but that's going to be that should be a fun one as well.
Do they have like someone good? Khalil Ware looking
at
good.
The Knicks.
I've been seeing Heat clips on my Twitter feed.
He's balling.
Looking like Wemby Jr.
That's the thing. The funny thing about Khalil Ware, he has potential through the roof, but Eric Spoelstra and the coaching staff for the Heat, because of that potential, they have been harder and harder and harder on him for him to break out and do something with it. We're going to be talking a lot about him on All You Can Heat, the newly minted podcast coming to your airwaves here from ESPN West Palm. But Khalil Ware is going to be a fun watch this year. We'll see how much Spo puts him out there and get some use out of him. Prize Picks is the place to play football, but it also is the place to play some basketball selections. I'm going to be loving playing Prize Picks plays all season long when it comes to the hardwood as well. Shout out the Aces. They wrapped up the WNBA season. Shout out the Heat. They should get some fun action on the hardwood when the NBA does kick off, tip off, whatever you want to call it. Either way, Prize Picks lets you do this new thing called stacking. That's where you can use one player stat projection, and you can take the same player and use up to 3. So if it's basketball, I can go Bam Adebayo, more than assists, more than rebounds, less than points. And that can all be in the same lineup. If it's football, I can go like a game like tonight, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders' big game tonight. I can say Jaden Daniels, more than 41.5 rushing yards, less than 34 pass attempts. And then I can add some stuff on top of that. And then I can make a nice lineup. You know, there's Flex Play Fridays. There's Taco Tuesdays. There's all of these promotions that you can play where you get more, a little bit more juice on some of those different stat projections that they're putting out there. But my favorite thing about Prize Picks is the fact that they are user-friendly, fast, quick, easy withdrawals. When you win one of your Prize Picks lineups, you screenshot that thing, you send it to me at Theo Dorsey TV, and then by the time you hit cash on it, boom, money's right there, wherever you need it. Zelle, Cash App, Apple Pay, whatever you're doing. Prize Picks has you covered. And the best part about it, too, is if it's your first time playing, you use the promo code THEOD. You get $50 for free, $50. $50 for free in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That is promo code THEOD. Play some Prize Picks. I just gave out some Prize Picks plays when it comes to tonight's games. I'll give them to you quickly right here. Write them down, jot them down, and maybe you can play with us on some nice football we have tonight on a Monday.
2 games to choose from. It's nice.
Yeah, and that's what I loved about it, too. All right, so I got Bijan Robinson, more than 31.5 receiving yards. I got James Cook, more than 0.5 rushing or receiving touchdowns. We got Caleb Williams, more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. And then Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, the rookie out of Arizona, more than 68.5 rushing yards for those Washington Commanders. In fact, that play right there, I got from a buddy named Cam. Buddy named Cam hit me up, said, yo, JCM's going to ball out tonight.
All right.
More than on those rushing yards. So you don't have to all be your own brain. You can use other people's brains, and you can make some money. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Promo code THEOD. There's a lot of football fans celebrating excellence. Then there's some that are desperate for some success because their heads are hanging in despair, and that is where we find our friend Joe in Jupiter, who joins us in the happy hour here on Theoretically Speaking. Joe is in Jupiter. His Cowboys are in the dumps because somehow, some way, they found a way to lose to the lowly Carolina Panthers. Joe, you licking your wounds from Sunday's defeat?
You know, I've been calling this wonderful station for years now, and sometimes it's just for therapy, and I need it today. So anything you can give me after I say what I say to make me feel better would be great, because I usually pick my spirits up. But, you know, first of all, if Ernesto's listening, he's got some great years ahead of him, I think, with Dart and Scatterboo. I mean, I want to give him some props. I think he might be listening, but if he's not.
Yeah, he is. He's listening.
I'm sure he is. Anyways, you know, I'd almost rather be a Giants fan. Seriously. But anyways,
whoa!
That's not the, no. I almost went there. I didn't mean to say that.
No.
You can't unsay it. No.
Clip that, CCAT. We're clipping that. Joe, do you realize the ammo you just gave Ernesto? Do you realize the ammo you just gave Big Homie and all of your NFC East rivals, man? You just tucked your tail.
I don't know why I did that. You know, we got the worst defense in the league statistically as of this morning, period. I've heard that this morning. You know, we got a great offense, but it's just, here we go again. And the Commanders are going to come into our stadium next, I think it's Monday night. I don't know when it is. I mean, it's going to be ugly. I'm almost to the point where I'm rooting for a draft pick in the high part of the draft. I hate feeling that way after week 6.
Well, Joe, I have one bit of news that'll brighten your smile a little bit. Wednesday, October 22nd, Spurs at Mavericks, season opener at home for your Dallas Mavericks. Cooper Flagg's been looking good in the preseason. That's what you can hang your hat on, Joe.
You just did that. That's magical. I've been watching some highlights of that. He looks unstoppable. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about, Joe. Relish in that, and we'll be peace be with you through the rest of this NFL season. That was Jupiter Joe. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. Good luck to those Cowboys fans, because we're going to be playing that every single time the Cowboys lose. That Joe wants to be a Giants fan now. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Putting the ball behind the keeper takes lots and lots and lots of tireless work that leads to something brilliant. It's the same with PNC Bank. They take a smart, practical approach with your money so you can score brilliant financial goals. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865 and proud banking sponsor of Inter-Miami CF radio broadcasts. Visit pnc.com/brilliantlyboring. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Tina, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey, Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports-certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
During football season, keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the field, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today, kick off your game day comfort, and don't sweat the small stuff.
This Halloween, the scariest thing on your team shouldn't be your books. Don't be scared. Jay Zolo and Associates is here to exercise your bookkeeping nightmares. With QuickBooks Online and expert care, let Jay Zolo bring your books from RIP to MVP. Let the only skeletons you deal with be the ones in costumes. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
Banyan Printing. For 47 years, the trusted partner for all your printing, mailing, and signage needs. And 2025 just brought something big to Banyan. Introducing Banyan's new press. Bigger, faster, and more competitively priced than anything you'll find anywhere in the Palm Beaches. Think variable data postcards, bulk mailings, and high-quality print on stocks up to a 24-point board. Banyan Printing. Visit banyanonline.com and discover how your business's printing materials can get bigger and better.
ESPN West Palm is on the move. Brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, the most trusted moving company in Florida. You're safe with Safebound.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com. pbhnphysiciangroup.com to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Brought to you by FDOT.
God knows. I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need all my babies.
woke up looking for
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Well, this morning, really this afternoon, the Tennessee Titans told Brian Callahan to pack his bags. First NFL head coach fired this year. Brian Callahan out the door, and he'll likely have to move, which sucks for his family. Moving sucks for everybody. Moving is a terrible thing to involve yourself in. It's tough if you try and do it yourself. That's why you call in professional help. Safebound, moving, and storage. Don't try and do it yourself. All right, you do enough things great. You do enough things mediocre. Let them take the steering wheel, right? The driver's seat. Let them sit in the driver's seat and take the steering wheel of your move. There you go. You know what? My sister let them do so, and that's what got her comfortably from South Florida to Georgia. The great thing about Safebound Moving and Storage, not only are they family owned, not only are they based in West Palm Beach, they service all of the Sunshine State. So whether you're watching this show from abroad and you're thinking of moving to Florida, maybe you are watching this show from Florida, you're thinking about leaving the Sunshine State. You're like, I don't like the orange trees. I don't like the iguanas. Maybe you're moving within state lines and you want to stick around and kick it under the palm trees. Safebound Moving and Storage, you are safe with Safebound. They take care of you the way that you would like to be taken care of. Safebound Moving and Storage has the experience, the expertise, and the 5-star customer service that you can rely on. You are safe with Safebound. SafeboundMoving.com. CCAT, Mike Tomlin is not one to bite his tongue. He is definitively a guy that speaks his mind. A lot of times it's hilarious. Oftentimes it can be taking a jab, or at least perceived as taking a jab at some. Take a listen to what he had to say about an intra-divisional transaction that happened at the top of this week.
You know, to be honest, it was shocking to me. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us, because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think enough of to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area. But that's just my personal feelings.
That's crazy.
Of course, talking about Joe Flacco getting traded from the Browns to the Bengals, even though he was the week 1 starter for the Browns.
It is weird that the Browns decided to throw a life raft to the Bengals. I do wonder if the Browns are looking at it as like, hey, nobody else is buying a quarterback right now. Nobody else wants Joe Flacco. And if he hits the offseason for us this year, guess what? We're not getting anything back for holding the bag on Joe Flacco. They're willing to give us, I think it was a 5th round pick, and they gave him a 6th back. So they turned a 6th round pick into a 5th round pick by trading Joe Flacco away, which is better than if you hold the bag on Flacco as a backup for your team and you finish out the regular season. This tells me 2 things, though, about Andrew Berry and the Browns. It's not that he thinks he's smarter than Mike Tomlin. It's that he knows that the benefit of his own team, especially when they're not trying to contend for the same thing that the Bengals are contending for, he prioritized that over the perception of helping out a divisional rival, which I do think is smart.
I don't think it's smart. I think that just getting 1 round moved up pick,
that could be huge. That's a big difference.
You're lending a helping hand to your division rival.
But you're not fighting for the same thing this year. The Browns and the Bengals are 2 teams that are not moving in the same direction this year. The Browns are moving towards the top of the draft. The Bengals are trying to fight to make the playoffs. If the Bengals make the playoffs with or without the Browns' help, that does nothing for or against the Browns this year.
Okay, the Browns are going to have a really high draft pick.
Yes.
So
what does Joe Flacco net you this year if he's not going to play again?
But so it's like moving up 15 spots on day 3 of the draft.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's big boards are different at that point in the NFL draft. Where who you're going to get at pick whatever round 5, pick 20 is going to be the same guy you're going to get in round 6, pick 5.
What do you gain from keeping Joe Flacco on your roster?
Nothing.
What do you gain from trading him away to the Cincinnati Bengals? 15 to 20 picks.
It's not the problem. The problem is giving someone else and having the Bengals gain from that.
You're not competing for the same thing.
It doesn't matter.
You're not competing for the same. It does matter. It's not like if the Ravens traded away Tyler Huntley to the Bengals, because it's like, hey, we both are trying to win this year. I'm going to give you a quarterback that's going to help you win this year just to get an extra 15 or 16 picks up in the draft next season. And that might be the thing that puts the nail in my own coffin. Nothing that the Bengals do this year matters to the Browns.
So do you think Mike Tomlin's a little bit salty that
yes, that's what it is.
The Steelers are fighting for the same thing that the Bengals are fighting for. It's like, why? Oh, it's like a fantasy football trade.
Yes, it's exactly like a fantasy football trade when one team is contending and the other one's at the bottom of the league, and those two teams make a deal. Everybody else in the middle is pissed off.
Yeah. It's like, what are you talking about?
And they're like, dude.
How does that help you?
Exactly. Except for the differences in the NFL, especially if this is a redraft league, they're more like a dynasty fantasy football league where you see a lot of those trades happen all the time. You sell off a veteran for a draft pick that might not be worth what that veteran is able to give this year, but it's worth more to you because that veteran can't help you right now. That's a good trade for the Browns.
I think it's either a bad trade for the Browns or it's a nothing trade for the Browns.
It's a good trade for the Browns.
Again, you're moving up like 10 or like these are going to be.
Teams sometimes have to trade up into 5th-round picks and trade off future assets to move up that many spots. I know it seems marginal, but it could be the difference. And also, you know the other thing that the Browns are telling you? We don't think Joe Flacco's actually going to get you over the edge. Theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Talk about stepping up. It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Member Week is back at Lowe's with big savings for pros. Now through October 15th, My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, tools, building materials, and more. Plus, get free standard shipping. Shop these exclusive member-only savings before they're gone. Not a rewards member? Join for free today. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
During football season, keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the field, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today, kick off your game day comfort, and don't sweat the small stuff.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Dylan Gabriel out there crashing out with them Cleveland Browns, dog.
You're talking about when he got hit after throwing the football and like dropped it.
He's crashing out.
A 12-6,
so weird,
an illegal elbow in the octagon.
He was like trying to it seemed like he was trying to choke out Pat Queen or whoever that was for the Steelers. That was weird. And then the other part that was hilarious about the Browns-Steelers game was Jalen Ramsey sacking Dylan Gabriel, running over to the sideline of the Cleveland Browns and pointing to Kevin Stefanski, telling him to put Shedeur Sanders in the game. The Browns are a mess.
See, that's good interdivision stoking the flames.
I love it. I love the fire.
Separate that locker room.
If you want our takes on Shedeur Sanders, and not just us on Theoretically Speaking, but also Russo and Rizzo, because Cleveland Browns fan and Cleveland native Mike Rizzo has some pretty sharp takes on it as well. Download that ESPN South Florida app. Download the app. You can stream the shows live there. You can go back and watch our takes there. You can also get high school football coverage. You can get Inter Miami. You can get Florida Panthers. You can get Miami Hurricanes. All things South Florida or on ESPN South Florida. Download the app today. It is free. And most importantly, the best button you're going to click on that app is when you see the words Theoretically Speaking. It don't get no better than that, man. It just don't.
Think Penn State should hire Syracuse head coach Fran Brown?
Is that so? Who are the guys that are being flirted out there? Because I know you've been on the message boards. Fran Brown, that's a good one. Who else?
Matt Rule.
Kurt
Signetti. Brian Hartline.
I would love a Fran Brown. I would love Brian Hartline just so Ohio State can stop stealing all the receivers.
So steal their coordinators in back-to-back years.
Yeah, those are my two leaders in the clubhouse. Just take from Ohio State. It's a net gain for Penn State.
Okay.
No matter if he's good or not.
I'll run it up the flagpole.
Yeah. Mike McDaniel. Hey, Brian Callahan's available. Any Brian Callahan love? He's available. Hey.
No comment.
He got available right in time for the Penn State job. Go in love. Go in peace. Go enjoy.
In sports and in life, how you move matters. So when injuries or pain get in the way, the orthopedic specialists at HSS Florida provide world-class care to get you moving again. From non-surgical and surgical care to personalized rehabilitation, HSS Florida offers the same quality and expertise